and CEBRadio, DZEM 954, ang tinig ng katotohanan, himpilan ng Iglesia ni Cristo, sumasahimpapawid mula sa Quezon City.
God morgon, god eftermiddag, god kväll, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Northern Europe Chronicles. I'm Andre Padrasho, broadcasting live here from the local of Oslo East, Norway, district of Northern Europe, and with me is my co-host.
Yes, god morgon, god eftermiddag och god kväll. I am Francesca Heiskanen coming to you from Lund, Sweden. And once again, welcome to Northern Europe Chronicles. It is now September 21, 9:01 p.m., a Sunday evening in the Philippines. It's already Monday, September 22, 3:02 a.m. So anyone tuning in from the Philippines, good evening, good morning. Thank you for tuning in at this time there. Hi, Andre. It's really nice to be here with you and host with you for this broadcast. I'm really excited. And speaking of our broadcast, we have some things that we can expect tonight, I believe. So thriving in transitions, that is what our topic is all about tonight, which I believe is kind of a continuation of what we were talking about last week on INCRadio, Northern Europe Chronicles, or just finding home away from home. So we spoke to brethren then and about how they adapted to their life now here in Europe. So we're kind of looking ahead and looking further and how everyone is doing and how everyone is thriving in those transitions. So we're looking forward to our topic discussion tonight. What else can we expect, Andre?
Of course, we have one of my favorite segments called Let's Sing and Dance, where we showcase the musical talent of the brethren here in our district, Ecclesiastical District of Northern Europe. We also have another segment called Let's Learn, where we learn some of the languages we have here in the district. And it will, of course, be connected to the topic, thriving in transitions. And as you said, last week, it's about finding home away from home. And now we're going to talk about how the brethren here not just manage to survive, but also thrive in their new environment. And I'm very, very excited to present and to talk with our guests that we have tonight. So let's not delay this any further. But again, before we continue, before we present the guests, I just want to give a huge shout out to our team live chat, all our viewers and listeners tuning in wherever you are. If you're here in the district, good evening. And as Cheska mentioned, if you're watching from the Philippines, very, very early, good morning to you. So make sure to stay hydrated, caffeinated, especially if you're watching this early. And join our topic discussion. We have our live chat box for a reason, and it's so that we can read them and also read them out loud. We'll especially read out the ones that will the comments that are pertaining to the topic. So if you have any thoughts on the questions that we asked the guests, answer those questions yourself, and you may find that we will read them out loud later. So don't be afraid. Keep commenting. And remember to like. And if you haven't subscribed yet to INCRadio DZEM 954, subscribe. So without further ado, let's introduce our guests. We have guests from all over the district. So let's start with our guest all the way from Czech Republic in Prague. And there we have Krever. Hello, Krever. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, good evening to all of the viewers and listeners from Northern Europe and also in the Philippines and all around the world. Thank you for having me here. I'm Trevor de la Paz. I'm from Prague, Czech Republic. I'm currently the head deacon in our locale, also a TSB officer and a children's worship service teacher. So thank you for having me here again.
And thank you so much for joining us, Trevor. We're excited to hear from you later. Stay tuned, everyone. Who do you have next?
Yes, so let's go to Poland. We have Jacelyn with us. Jacelyn, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers and listeners?
Yes, hello to everyone tuning in. I am Jaiseline from Group Worship Service of Wejherowo here in Poland. I'm an LOS Secretary, Chronicler, and Finance Officer. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, who else do we have, Andre?
Let's go back to my country. Let's go to Norway. A bit further down south, let's go to Stord. Let's go to Bernard.
Hello and good evening and good morning, everyone. Hello, Andre and Francesca. I'm Bernard Bautista. I'm here in Haugesund, Norway, and I one of the deacons in the congregation of Stord.
Thank you so much. So we went to Norway. Now let's go to my country, my city actually, in Lund. And let's hear from BZ. Hi BZ, can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Beezy. I'm an exchange student from the UK studying in Lund, Sweden. I'm really excited to be here and thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so much for joining. I couldn't tell that you were from the UK with your accent. Just kidding. And of course, we have Norway, Sweden. We can't complete the Scandinavian country without Denmark. But don't worry, we have our guests from Denmark as well. Let's hear from the couple.
Yeah, thank you, Andre. I'm Troy. I'm from local congregation of Copenhagen, Denmark, and I'm holding an office as a group overseer and soon to be a deacon.
Yeah. Thank you, Andre and Francesca. Good evening, everyone. I am IC Santos, also from local congregation of Copenhagen, Denmark, and I am also holding an office as a local secretary.
Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Copenhagen, Denmark. So, dear viewers and listeners, if you recognize some of the guests, give them a shout out there. They're also reading the live chat, so let's give them our your best support. Now, I want to start this topic off because you know all of us have come from different parts of the world. So I want to go back to our first guest, Trevor, and I want to ask you, what major changes have you faced abroad there in Prague specifically, and how did that help you grow?
For me, one of the major changes here in abroad is when I arrive here in Prague is one is the language. Yeah, because we really have a difficulty in communication here because most of the people in Prague, in Czech Republic, are not really speaking English. So yeah, when we first arrived here, the first few weeks, we're really having a difficult time to communicate, especially with the elderly and some of the people here, because we really do they really do understand English. And also one of the changes is really the comfort zone. When we arrive here, we're facing new challenges, and then we're really a new family when we arrive here, and there are really big adjustment, literally, and we really do need to do our all of our, on our own. So yeah.
Yes, literally a big change. Everything changed. Your environment, your scenery, just the temperature, the way the air smells, probably, right? So there's a lot of huge changes. But at one point in your life, like when did you first feel that you're truly thriving in your new country, Trevor?
I think just this year, because yeah, we really I think I will really have a uh, adjusted here. And the weather, I already loving the weather here, especially during this autumn, and not winter but the autumn. Yeah, and really and somehow we also used to the culture here with the people, and also the community. Yeah, so I think this year we're really adjusted a lot here.
Right. So thank you for sharing that. And it took a year, but imagine that. And it can be different for anyone, but at one point there will come a time for you, and that when that time comes, when you feel like you're truly thriving, it's a whole another experience. So thank you for sharing that, Trevor. Who do you want to ask next?
Yeah. Yes, so let's go to Jacelyn. For you, Jacelyn, what major changes have you faced now living abroad or living in Poland specifically, and how has that helped you kind of grow as a person?
Yeah. I actually somehow share the same I would say feelings or experience with Trevor. But I would say for me the major changes I faced are cultural differences and independence. Cultural difference because here we face different customs, communication styles, especially at work, social norms which we're not accustomed to. And I would say that till now I'm still adjusting on it, but in here, I became more adaptable to this varying difference and I learned to appreciate diversity. And the other one, major change is, of course, independence. I realized that living abroad often requires us to be more self reliant, especially for me. It's the first time to work here abroad with no family or relative here, from simply planning and doing all the cooking yourself, which I'm not doing before way back home in the Philippines, to doing my own groceries, searching and choosing my own apartment to live in, and many others. So I would say these experiences really foster my independence and self reliance.
I have to say, it sounds really exciting what you get to experience or what you're experiencing. It sounds scary and it sounds challenging, but at the same time, when I hear you talk about it, it sounds so exciting. Uh, and it kind of then goes to the next question, because I feel like you're kind of in the moment of thriving. But when did you uh, first feel like you were really truly thriving, living there in Poland or abroad? Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just been here in Poland for 10 months. So not even a year. But I would say that after 6 to 7 months since arriving here in Poland, I feel like I am already thriving. I can say this because I was able to experience personal growth, like learning new skills, overcoming challenges, and already finding comfort in some of regular tasks such as doing my own grocery shopping or commuting to work or to other places.
Thank you so much. And yeah, it seems simple, but it really it changes you as a person, and helps you, it grows you as a person, if that makes sense. Like all these little things that are just part of your daily living, daily life, they're all these little stepping stones that kind of make you become who you are now. And it's so exciting to see what you've experienced and to hear from you. It just you sound so happy and so exciting. So we look forward to hearing more from you. Who else do we have, Andre?
Yeah, so it's definitely exciting to see that. We have had guests now so who've been here for more than a year. But we have Bernard here, who's now in Team Norway with me. Uh, I've I grew up here basically, so I don't really feel like I don't remember that feeling of adjusting. But Bernard here has a really fresh take, and I'm so excited to hear more from you. And please share with us how long you've been here, and so being here now, what major changes have you faced being here in Norway, and how did that help you grow, Bernard?
Yeah, yes, that's true, Andre. I have been here for more than 3 months only in Norway, and this is my first time coming to Europe. And yes, I can say, in addition to what Gregor and Jesselyn mentioned about the changes, I can say there's one positive change that I notice here. which is the work-life balance. They give high value to this work-life balance with shorter working schedule and offering generous, of course, vacation time. And because of that, I have had the opportunities to explore many beautiful places, amazing natures here in Norway, and here only in Norway that I was able to walk 15 kilometers, more than 10 kilometers in a day, 3 hours walking, and I never did that when I was in Asia. Yes.
Right. Because before you went here to Norway, you were in which country in Asia?
I most of the time I stay in Singapore, and I also work in Thailand, in Korea, and even in the Middle East. But first time, this is my first time here in Europe, especially here in Norway.
Yes, in Europe and specifically in Norway. And you mentioned huge change
Yes.
from going from Asia to Norway. A lot more relaxed working hours.
Correct,
And
and a lot of beautiful natures here, and that's what I like. These natures. That's why
yeah, I
I
was
like staying.
yeah, I was gonna ask you, when did you first feel like you were truly thriving in your country? But you've already listed some of the positives. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Yes, of course. It was when I felt most of at ease in this new country environment, and when I started to understand and appreciate the culture, the many beautiful places here, and when I started building connections, of course, not only with with my colleagues, locals, with some Filipinos here, and of course with our brethren who are living here in Norway for a long time.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Bernard. And we look forward to hearing more of you later on.
Yes, now let's go to our next guest, to BZ. You are originally from the UK, so UK jumping to Sweden is not, that far a distance, but it's still a big change in your life. So what big change have you now faced, and how is still this helping you grow as a person?
So I'm similar to Jaslyn. It's my first time living abroad away from my parents, and because I'm still a student, so I'm not working yet. But one of the biggest changes I've had, similar, is, for example, like cooking on my own, having to do my own groceries as well, having to go to church on my own as well, which was something that I obviously relied on with my parents back in the UK. So I feel like these changes are definitely for my benefit because I've gained a lot of confidence in myself and in my abilities to handle situations such as being on my own. And with God's help, obviously, I've been kept safe. And I've only been living here for a month, but I feel like the adjustment is quite big since I'm in my own space now without having my parents and stuff. So I think definitely like there's been a lot of changes, but it's really nice to get used to and adjusted to, because I feel like all of the values and the skills that I'm learning, I can definitely take with me when I'm older. So I feel really like blessed that I'm able to live, especially in Lund, because things are quite accessible by, for example, biking. So that's how I would commute to university and to church. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. So you kind of mentioned all of these little moments that you've kind of taken in, and okay, you've been here for a month, but in this month, is there a moment where you felt like you were thriving here in Lund or in Sweden, or you felt like, okay, I've got this, or are you still looking for that moment?
So even though, yeah, I've been living here for exactly a month and 2 days, but I feel like there will definitely be more moments in the future where I feel like, yes, I'm actually thriving and living in this country. But to answer your question, although I think it might sound a bit silly and small, but maybe the first time, I think a time where I felt like I was thriving is the first time that I took myself to church after like a full day of class without the help of any navigation apps or anything like that. So I was able to just take myself to church after a long day, and something clicked and I was like, oh, I really can do this on my own. And yeah, I think that's probably my first like, okay, like it's okay. You know, I don't need to stress. I don't need to worry too much.
That's so exciting to kind of make your way around like a local, like a native Lundabo or a Lunda person living in Lund. So it's not a big city, so it's easy to get around, get by. So thank you, BZ. Who do you want to go to next, Andre?
Of course, I want to ask the couple from Copenhagen the same question, really. Like, what major changes have you faced abroad, and how did they help you grow? Who wants to go first?
What are yeah, what are changes or challenges that we have encountered moving here in abroad? Well, adjusting the new culture and the way of life. Also, we also struggling learning new languages. Meet a lot of people with different nationality. And did somebody mention the weather? Yeah, we came here last winter, so it's really cold.
Yeah. At first, it felt overwhelming because of all the adjustments to almost everything. So we also had a short time to prepare our transition from one place to another, but it pushed us to be more adaptable and resilient to different challenges. And with all the uncertainties, it helped us to be more faithful to our Lord God.
That's so good to hear. And now you've been here for many months, over a year, right? So,
Almost,
in
almost
what
here.
almost a year. So, how when did you first feel in that time span you've been there in Copenhagen? When did you first feel that you were truly thriving in your new environment?
Yeah, we think the first 3 to 4 months were the toughest times for us. Yeah, because we need to adapt and adjust to a new culture, people, food, the weather, and the communication styles. Yeah, lifestyle, and not to mention the cost of living. Yeah.
Yeah, but after some times when we managed to have a good routine and establish a good network, we started to feel more confident and comfortable living here in abroad.
Wow, there you go. And especially because you told me privately, right, when you first got there in Copenhagen, that was during, was it winter time?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
winter time.
Winter time. So coming from Asia, that's like it's a night and day difference, right? So it truly is a big change. So I can see uh, why it took you more than a couple months to adjust, because that was during winter time, right? You'd have to get clothes, winter clothes,
Down
and
jacket.
yeah, down jacket, right? So to also research, right? Because um, also a common misconception about the cold. Uh, some people just look at the temperature sometimes, right? So there are some jackets that are, they have that good protection from just the temperature, but then it comes to the wind, and the wind go straight to the jacket. So you also have to research that. So that's a huge change if you go from the Philippines to Copenhagen, especially Copenhagen wintertime. So we're so happy that you're able to not just survive but thrive there in Copenhagen. So thank you so much for sharing that, Santos couple. We'll get back to you later. And now that we've mentioned this, the changes that we've experienced, what are the life lessons that we've learned, right? So, Trevor, what life lessons have you learned while adjusting to life abroad?
I think one is patience. Yeah, because I think accepting that adjusting life here in abroad really takes time. So even though when I'm still in the Philippines, I'm used to go to different countries because of my work. It's really a big lift living abroad, knowing that you will be there, I will be here, and me and my family will be here in a new country for a very long time. And then also very important life lesson is to to always have faith to our Almighty God. Because living here in abroad is not really an easy thing to do. but it's really matters that you have a really have a faith to our Almighty God, because it will do a lot of help to us, not really for our family, but to all of people that strives to live abroad. And it will always help, knowing that Almighty God is always there to help is whatever we need.
So and that's also a good advice as well. Do you have any other advice to give to someone, especially moving to a new or different country?
I think that's the only advice. One thing that's the only advice that I can give to someone who is really new, moving to a different country. Really have patience, because sometimes there are a lot of things that you don't expect to happen here, outside of your comfort zone here in abroad. But really, you need to have patience on it, because not all the things that you want will be there. But if you have patience, that and accepting the fact that it will take a lot of time to adjust and do things that you want, yeah, it will help you a lot. And someone will help a lot on that one.
So thank you so much for sharing your advice to us, Kreber. We'll get back to you later.
Yes, now let's go to Jacelyn. Also for you, like what life lessons have you learned while adjusting to these 10 months that you've now resided in Poland? Like what have you learned?
Yes, thanks, Jessica, for that questions. Someone already mentioned it earlier. So for me, it's resilience, really. And from this question, I can recall one of my favorite quotes, which says that change and comfort do not coexist. And living abroad, I've proven that this is indeed true. Because resilience is built through discomfort. Resilience in overcoming these challenges, such as those simple ones which I mentioned earlier, and many others like the culture shocks, language barriers, and especially homesickness. But these discomforts, I learned that they help build my resilience and all the more strengthened my faith.
Thank you so much. So resilience is something you've learned now. What advice would you give to someone who is, in the process of moving abroad, or who's kind of in the same situation as you, living on your own, maybe for the first time? Like what small advice would you give to them?
Yeah. Maybe I can mention the two. One is to build a support network here abroad, connecting with friends, co-workers, and community groups. And by community group, especially as being a member of Church of Christ, it's very important to build strong relationship and connection with our other brethren, as they are what we can consider as our family here while living abroad. And the other one is staying positive, um, because from experience, adjusting to a new country can be challenging. So it's important to maintain a positive attitude and constantly reminding ourselves that it's normal to feel overwhelmed at times, and that our prayers to God help us overcome this.
Yes, thank you so much. That was really nice advice. Who do you want to go to next, Andre?
Well, let's go to Bernard. I know that you've been only 3 months here in Norway, but you've been in many, many different countries working abroad. So, what are some life lessons you've learned while adjusting to life abroad?
Thanks, Andre. Yes, yeah, of course. Every time that I go abroad and far from my family, of course, there will be a homesickness and other problems. But of course, as an officer and member of the Church of Christ, I always focus on the positive things. I'm always excited to attend the worship services twice a week, and participating in all the activities in the church. Almost every day, there are there are some activities there that I'm participating. So that makes my life easier and easy to adjust while I'm working abroad.
So, what advice would you give to someone newly moving to a different country? Since you have so many countries in your list, you have a lot of experience in this.
Yeah, we may not avoid comparing, Andre, but don't compare everything to how things were back home. It's natural, but it can also be draining. Instead, focusing on the positive aspects of new environment and how you can grow from your new experience. And there will be moments when you miss home, and that's completely normal. The key is not to let homesickness stop you from exploring and trying to build a new life. Stay connected to home through calls or messages. And of course, in the Church of Christ, we conduct regularly this family hour, and even abroad, we can still conduct this family hour online, and that makes us always connected to our family.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Right, you really have to change your perspective, and with that, you find new opportunities to grow. We have a comment here from the live chat from Mix Yahuam saying, "Life lesson I've learned is living abroad is not for the weak, but with the help of our Almighty God, with constant communication with Him through prayers, it helped me to go through life struggles and adapt." So thank you for sharing that comment. And again, Team Live Chat, you're part of this discussion, so keep commenting in our topic discussion, and we'll read more of them later. Who else do you want to ask, Jessica?
Yeah, so let's go back to BZ. So BZ, what life lesson have you learned now adjusting to living abroad, living away from your family, living on your own for the first time? What have you learned?
Yeah, so I think I've learned quite a few lessons so far, despite only being here for a month. And the first one I would say is probably to be well prepared, like doing things such as like planning my day out each morning, things like being able to adapt and being open-minded. For example, when something that arises isn't part of the plan, taking everything one step at a time without getting stressed or overwhelmed. And another perhaps life lesson I would say that I've learned is to definitely be grateful for all of the smaller and little things. I've learned to appreciate no matter like how long or short the conversation is with the new people that I meet here at university or just walking around. And I think I've learned to appreciate the time that I have had with my parents and my younger brother, for example. And I'm really thankful that, for example, they're still supporting me despite being in a different country. So yeah, I would say like definitely being open-minded, preparing well, and gratitude would be like some life lessons that I've learned.
Thank you. So I feel like you kind of touched upon it, but what other advice would you give to someone, a young adult, a student, a young student moving to a different country? What advice would you give them?
Oh, definitely. So as a student myself, I can definitely say that one of the biggest piece of advice that I would give is to be prepared. Because, for example, when I was researching what university I wanted to go to for my exchange, the first thing that I did was to see the distance between the university and the place of worship to see if it was accessible or not. And I found that in Lund, the place of worship is in the same city and it is available to commute to without having to be so much of a stressful time. And another thing that I did was research the culture of the city that I would be living in. For example, like if language would be a huge issue, and thankfully a lot of people in Sweden speak English, and things that, for example, are culturally appropriate in the UK, would that translate and be the same in Lund? Would that be appropriate as well? So I think definitely being prepared into the new city that you would be going to would be my biggest piece of advice. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. And I believe your family is tuning in to our broadcast tonight. So hello to BZ's family. Now, who do we want to go to next, Andre?
Yeah, so I want to ask the Santos couple the same thing. What life lessons have you learned living here in there in Denmark?
Living abroad has taught us a lot of things, some of which are humility, patience, resilience.
Yeah, in addition, we learn to be more confident and it also strengthened our faith even more. Yeah.
So I love those keywords. Uh, so really focus on that, right? What advice would you give to someone who would plan to move to a new country abroad?
Our advice to someone newly move in a different country, especially to our brethren, uh, always check your nearest congregation in your place where you could have some peaceful place to have a devotional prayers, attend a worship service, and continue serving God, even here in abroad.
Yeah, in addition, surround yourself with people that can help you build up your personal growth. But primarily, surround yourself with people that can guide you and help you spiritually. Because it feels good to know that there are people or someone that truly care and pray for you, such as our church administrators, their primary helpers, the ministers, and also our fellow brethren. Yeah, because
Thank you
Right.
so much for
Because
sharing
we believe, yeah, because we believe when we draw ourselves closer to God, every good thing and good fortune will follow.
That is so well said to the Santos couple. Thank you so much for this topic discussion so far. And we'll continue our topic discussion. But before that, we'll have a quick break. Or actually, before a quick break, we have a comment from Cheryl Ramos saying, "Advice I can give is continue looking forward and prevent always having to look back. Know the culture, especially the language, to adjust and adapt to the place where you move in, and be flexible and always pray." So thank you so much for sharing that as well, Team Live Chat. Before we continue with our topic discussion, we'll go for another segment called Let's Sing and Dance. And for this one, we have See You in a While. So let's listen, let's watch.
If I get left behind, or the time will pass me by, and I may not see you for a while or call your name, I won't lose courage, for I know it's not the end. We are heading to our new home where we will meet once again, and forever we will dwell. And so I look at the bright side. For us there is no goodbye. It's see you later, see you in a while. Look at the bright side. For us there is no goodbye. It's see you later, see you in a while. So I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while. Oh, I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while.
If every day's a feeling stuck in darkest night, I will lift my head up high so I can look toward the light. Just know I'll complete the race that you have won before. I'll reach that finish line and meet you there when we reach our home. I'll see you then. For now I look at the bright side. For us there is no goodbye. It's see you later, see you in a while. Look at the bright side. For us there is no goodbye. It's see you later, see you in a while. So I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while. Oh, I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while.
Oh, I will not feel the sadness when I miss you.
again, I'll patiently wait.
Look at the bright side, for us there is no goodbye. Yes,
See you later, see you in a while. Look at the bright side, for us there is no goodbye. Yes, see you later, see you in a while. I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while. Oh, I'll see you later. Yes, I'll see you in a while.
look at the bright side, for us there is no goodbye. Yes.
See you later. See you in a while. Yes, and welcome back to Northern Europe Chronicles. Now, that's still a name we are getting used to. Now, we'll continue on with our topic discussion with our guest here with us tonight. And some of the things that I just wanted to point out to what our guest had mentioned previously was some of the life lessons or some of the advice that they gave was, to be patient, to be resilient, and to find your community. And what I find really beautiful is that as members of the Church of Christ, no matter where we go in the world, we can always find our community. We can always find the brethren and a congregation in which we can continue on with our worship services, with our performances and our duties, in participating in all of the Christian Family Organization activities. So those are all really some of the things that I took to heart in our topic discussion. We also have our team live chat joining us in our topic discussion. So Raquel de la Cruz, she says that advice that she would give is to always stay connected to family and to family and to brethren and to join church activities. And that's a way for us to be able to adjust easily in our new environment. Another comment from Emmy Coloma, life lesson po ay keep the faith and never neglect our worship service po para anuman ang maranasan, ang mapagdaanan, manghina man ang ating katawan lamang, subalit lalo po tayo patatagin ng Ama. I apologize for my Tagalog. Another comment from Herma Acosta, advice abroad is have good connections with your neighbors and be friendly. So those were really, really lovely advice from our live chat. So to our viewers and to our listeners, please continue in joining our discussion and sharing with us your experiences as well.
Yes.
What do we go
Keep
next on?
commenting, and if it is Tagalog, Cheska will keep reading them. So let's go back to Trevor, right? You've talked a lot about your faith as well, bringing that into our discussion. How has living in a new country helped you go spiritually or emotionally, Trevor?
Spiritually, it helped me to be mature in faith. So it helped me grow a lot because we encountered here a lot of difficult situations, but we were able to pass all of them. So not because we are great, but it is because of the help of our Almighty God. And we're really thankful that even though we are far distance physically with the church administration, but we really feel that we are near to them through their teachings of our Almighty God. That they're always impart to us in our work, whether in worship service or in other means. They're always there for us to teach us and always remind us of the importance of our faith.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I definitely agree.
Now let's go to Jaislyn. Like, for you, how has living in a new country helped you grow spiritually or even emotionally?
Yes, living in a new country has helped with my spiritual growth in a way that these challenges and difficulties that I experienced here has truly deepened my faith. I'm forever grateful with my membership inside the Church of Christ because we have the guidance from our Almighty God through our church administration. We are always taught to maintain our positive outlook in life and to remain steadfast in our faith. And that through this, I myself find the strength and courage to transition from just surviving towards thriving and embracing these major changes, finding joy in new experiences, and especially in all the more worshiping God while living here abroad.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Jaislyn. How about you, Bernard? I want to ask you the same thing. How has living in a new country, like here in Norway, helped you grow spiritually?
Yes, thanks, Andre. Um, like what they said, Trevor and Jaiseline, we should always stay positive. And of course, we cannot avoid these challenges while working abroad. But of course, through constant prayers and attending the worship services, participating in all the activities in the church, that would greatly help us to overcome many problems or loneliness and difficulties because if we are, of course, active in many activities, it will help us to be more uh, happy while we are uh, working abroad and knowing that God's guidance is always present with us. And like what the church administration taught to us, wherever we go, whatever we do, we should always give value to our membership in the Church of Christ. And no matter what happens, we shall continue to serve God, of course, to attain the salvation which is truly near. And that gives me inspiration. Even I'm far from home, every time I do my duties, that inspired me and more resilient in living abroad.
Thank you so much, Bernard. And that was really heartwarming to hear that no matter where we are, no matter what happens, as long as we continue on with our duties, everything will be okay. Thank you so much. Now let's go to BC. And BC, same with you. How has living in a new country helped you grow spiritually or even emotionally?
Yeah, so definitely, I think my faith has grown a lot stronger and a lot deeper with God. I really now understand the feeling of having a home away from home. That's how I feel coming to church and performing my duty every week as a choir member. I think it's really nice to have a community where we're all like grounded and strengthened in our morals and values as a Christian. I think my faith has definitely been an anchor of the sort, and definitely helped me to go through all of the issues that I would face personally on my own. So yeah.
Thank you so much, and it's nice that you enjoy it here in the District of Northern Europe, specifically there in Lund. How about the couple Santos? How has living abroad uh, in a new country here helped you grow spiritually?
Yeah, we can say living here in a new country has deepened our faith to our Lord God.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. In fact, we had recently accepted office duties in in our congregation. This is a way of expressing our gratitude to God, to our Lord God, and in this sense, we can say it helped us grow both emotionally and spiritually.
So thank you so much, everyone, for this wonderful topic discussion. But don't leave yet. We have more in store in this program. Specifically, our next segment is called Let's Learn, where we will learn some new words in a different language. So, with that said, let's learn. Welcome back to Let's Learn. Today we're talking about thriving in transitions. So, with that, we're gonna learn some Norwegian words related to that topic. Let's begin. Our first word is change. Change in Norwegian is endring. Endring. Next up, transition. In Norwegian, that is overgang. Overgang. How about adapt? Adapt in Norwegian is tilpasning. Tilpasning. Next word, challenge. Challenge in Norwegian is utfordring. Utfordring. Next up, growth. Growth in Norwegian is vekst. Vekst. How about comfort zone? Comfort zone in Norwegian is komfortzone. Komfortzone. Next up, courage. Courage in Norwegian is mot. Mot. Next up, faith. Faith in Norwegian is tro. Tro. Next word is support. Support in Norwegian is støtte. Støtte. Last but not least, journey. Journey in Norwegian is reise. Reise. That's it for now. Keep tuning in to Northern Europe Chronicles, and we'll see you next time here on this segment called Let's Learn. Vi ses neste gang. We see you next time.
And welcome back to Northern Europe Chronicles. Now we are ending or reaching the end of our broadcast actually, and we want to once again go back to our guests and give them an opportunity to give their shout outs to their loved ones, to their friends, to anyone tuning in. So let's start with Crever. Crever, who do you want to shout out?
Shout out to first our district supervising minister, Brother Bizarre Ibalsita, and also our resident minister, Brother Danilo Kaalim, and also his wife, Sister Laura Kaalim, and also to my wife. Thank you for always supporting me to 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 be a guest here in Northern Europe, INCRadio Northern Europe, and also to the brethren here in Prague, Czech Republic. Nice. Happy to see you all of you this weekend, and also the next activities that we have in our local. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Crever. Now let's go to Jacelyn. Jacelyn, who do you want to shout out?
Yes, shout out po to all our local GWS here in Poland from Czeskowa, Katowice, Łowicz, Plock, Warsaw, and our GWS Wejherowo. And shout out rin po to our district supervising minister, Brother Bizarre Balsita, and to our resident ministers, Brother Kevin Heitman and Brother RC Catalasan.
Thank you so much. Bernard, who do you want to shout out?
Yes po, I would like to, of course, greet my family in Singapore, my daughter and my son, and of course, my wife is with me here in Norway. And greetings to our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, in celebration of his 16 years of dynamic leadership. And of course, to his strongest helper, Brother Angelo Eranio Manalo. And of course, to our district supervising minister, Brother Bizarre Balsita, and our CFO overseer, Brother Oliver Nugget, and our resident minister, Brother Paulo Gorin, who is stationed in the local Stavanger, and with his family, and of course our brethren in Stavanger, in Bergen, and in Stord. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, Vizi, who do you want to shout out?
I'd love to shout out my parents and my younger brother Izzy. They're watching here today. Thank you guys for supporting me. I'd also like to shout out the brethren from my home locale back in Norwich who are tuning in and watching as well. And lastly, I want to shout out the local congregation of Lund. I want to say thank you so much, Paul, for making me feel so welcome. And I'd like to shout out the new friends that I've made who are helping me learn Svenska, Katja, Alex, Carl, and their families. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now let's go to the Santos couple in Copenhagen. Who do you want to shout out?
Yes, we would like to greet our family in the Philippines. Hi to our parents and siblings. Shout out to my sister Georgia, who is watching right now. And we would also like to express our gratitude and greetings to our resident minister, Brother Oliver Nagit, and his family. To our district minister, Brother Bizar Basita. And hi to all our viewers and listeners who supported us tonight, especially our brethren and all the officers from the Congregation of Copenhagen, Denmark, and Northern Europe.
And also to Brother Edwin, to his family also, who just texted me right now. And good night, and thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much to all our guests and all the live chat for helping us in making such a nice topic discussion. We also want to shout out all the brethren in our district who have their birthday this month. From Budapest, Hungary, Brother Mark Jesper Byron, Dervin Reyes, Rafi Salupan, Mark Ryan Ed Nalaga, and Sister Kathleen de Guzman.
Yes, and from Lund, we want to greet Emerita Valle, Anita Ekana, Lorne Lind, and we want to greet BC's dad, who also has his birthday this month. And from Vienna West, we want to greet Imelda C, Elizabeth Kunanan, Leonard Lopez, Pressy Arsiaga, Catalina Arsiaga, Olive Alimboyugen, Rina Alimboyugen, and from Finland in Helsinki, Alvin Finnes, and from Fanta, Marika Tabigne.
My home locale, Oslo East, Norway, Kalinda Timbol, Ray Ray Yap, Lito Anor, Nick Onagan, Harodel Malyare, Sister Aurora Pineda, Sister Lisa Balsita, Sister Janice Simon, Cassie Manuntag, Brother June Mendoza, Kariki Palerasio, my dad, hello dad, birthday celebrants from Mjøndalen, Norway, Sister Gladylin Borje, and Audrey Medecillo. So thank you so much. Once again, this has been Northern Europe Chronicles. And we hope to see you again next time, every Sundays at 9 p.m. Central European Summertime. Until next time, god morgen, god ettermiddag, god kveld, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
It doesn't take something big to show love. The right and thoughtful choices